And you can't start taking care of it when you're 50. By that time, you'll have rusted out if you haven't done anything. So you should really be sure that you just remember that you just got one mind and body to get through life with, and to do the most with it. Well, life advice is, the most important thing, aside from the things I've talked about, is really who you associate with. You want to associate with people that are better than you are. I mean, basically, you'll go in the direction of the people that you associate with, and you want to have the right heroes. You want people, if you want to emulate somebody, you better pick very carefully who you want to emulate. And when obviously you can't pick your parents, they're going to have an enormous influence on you, but you don't get a choice on that. But you get choices as you go down the line, and who you admire, who you want to copy, and the most important for most people in terms of that decision is their spouse. It's also important in terms of a partner in business, but the partner in life is the most important one. You want to pick a spouse that's better than you are, and then he or she, you hope they don't figure it out too fast. Now at 86, I mean, I've seen a lot of people that have gotten older, and I've never seen anybody that is 70 or pick an age who felt good about their children that felt bad about their life. In all my experience, I've seen plenty of people with lots of money where it hasn't worked out well in the family.
They didn't feel good about their children.
Or the children didn't feel good about them. I mean, but whichever way. I mean, but they failed at the most important teaching job they had in personal relationship. And sometimes it happens for extraneous reasons. But I really have never met anybody, regardless of their economic circumstances, who felt their life was a failure. They worked in hot conditions, loud conditions, and they spent 20 or 25 years on looms. When textiles moved elsewhere, their lives, economic lives, were ruined. And that is going to happen. That is part of trade. And the benefits, whether somebody buys whatever textiles we were turning out, handkerchiefs or anything, they may buy them a little cheaper. And we've got to keep the trade benefits everybody, us and them. As a society, it penalizes certain people terribly. And we've got to take care of the people that are getting hurt because we've got the resources.
And take care means what?
It means that somehow you have to have some kind of, you got to have retraining and all that when that's feasible. But it isn't feasible when you only speak Portuguese and you're in New Bedford and you're 55 years old and you spent your whole life on a loom. You've got to make sure that person has an income that's commensurate. We can do it as a society. And we don't want to let the individual case prejudice against trade benefits everybody, but we also don't want to say because everybody's benefited, to hell with this guy. But we can afford that, and we should do it, and that's how we'll get a good trade policy. Overall, in aggregate, our society will be far richer 10, 20, 30 years ago, and if you just take an aggregate, our children will live better. The real question is will it continue to leave lots of people behind? And a specialized market system will leave people behind. There is, if somebody is, however you want to measure it, 10% below average, their opportunities in this world today have not improved at all, from 30 or 40 years ago. The classic situation is you take the Forbes 400, 82. Number one guy was Dan Ludwig. Your viewers never heard of him. They had $2 billion. Now that it'd be 30 or 40 times that. 30 or 40 times, and this more highly specialized economy, year after year, different from that agrarian economy of 200 years ago. It's going to be more and more people at the very top winning big time. And it really won't do, absent certain types of programs, it won't do much for the person that really doesn't have any special skills.
Yes, man. Yes. What is going on? Hey, Gerald Peters, welcome back to the channel. Always remember, whatever it is you think about comes about. I promise you, whatever you focus on grows. I want to check in with the wind. Let's take this down. hit that QR code, get on my email list. Man, I'm going to try to do this without freaking out. I've been having internet problems all day, and now my mouse is dying just as I go live. So I'm going to try to power through, and my mouse makes it. Let's keep this short. Sorry it took so long in the beginning. Okay, you know the concept of confluence. The money flow trading system looks at 6 indicators. We need 6 things to line up. RSI happens to be 1. Price happens to be 2. Moving averages, TSI, MACD histogram. Support and resistance. Play a strong front. Now listen, here's the stock. I'm going to leave you with this, and then we're going to dig into the win. This is Oxy Petroleum. Go look up the fundamental value, the price. I'll look it up while we're standing here. And let's see what this stock is worth.
5 years ago. And believe me, that does not strike somebody that's working 40 hours a week and trying to support a couple kids on it and finding,
and that their income doesn't remain the same or be less, or
they just aren't participating.
They're threatened by forces they can't comprehend.
They can't. The market system just pays more and more. Just think, say you're a middleweight boxer. I mean, in the 30s you were limited to, you wouldn't even get on the undercard.
Wow.
And it was limited. But then television comes along and cable comes along and pay-per-view, and tens and tens of millions of dollars.
All right. We did this together. Morningstar has Oxy Petroleum trading at, it looked like $53, man. I got to dig into this. This is a support area where it's been before. Prices stopped here before. We're looking right at it. That's called support. Price has memory. If you don't have my book, The Money Flow Trading System, get it and read this concept. Study it. We know time is fractal. Support, also known as demand. Supply, also known as resistance. We'll see if price stops here. We need to see some sideways movement out of the TSI. We need to see the flat. We know it could happen in here. All these indicators doing is just flash and alert. Price is the indicator that pays, man. All right, I wanted to get into the win with you. If you're in the Money Flow gang, MFG, if you're in Discord, I was going to post this. Jump on over to the MFG Trade Ideas of the Week chart pack, and you'll see this chart in there, man. I'm going to be doing some updating of that today and tomorrow. Let's pull up the win. These are the 7 indicators, what I believe the 7 main assets. You could go into number 9, small caps. You could go into pennies. You could add some other things to this list, but this is the big 7. It used to be the big 4. Bitcoin. I got long Bitcoin on an Instagram live today. Long futures contract, long 4 Bitcoins. Target zone is a swing trader. As an investor, I always try to get a little bit, if I can, on stage 1s. They tend to be bottoms here, 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 and over in here. That price, I don't care the price. I'm just buy stage 1s. If I'm an investor or position trading, meaning I'm building a position over years. I still want to take advantage of market weakness and maybe a time to raise money. If I wanted some money, I could sell into strength. And this is just a game that we play of buying assets. So that's Bitcoin. If we look at, hold on here, the Peters report, if you go to page 35, this is where my homework is. If you haven't already signed up, hit that QR code or go over here at petersreport.com, click subscribe to the report. And right here, this is where I keep my trade log. It's delayed if you want it in real time or you want it in text message. I text it to my friends on their phone. I give them 30 minutes and then I do it. If you'd like to get on that, all you got to do is holler at me, man. So seriously, hey, some of you guys have been following me a long time. Come on, books are cheap. My tech stuff, get on it, man. I'm watching this stuff all the time. That doesn't mean I'm gonna get it right, but it does mean I'm watching it probably more than you. So I become a resource for you. Let me be a resource for you, bro. Let me do that, okay? And then you learn, and then you become a resource for me, right? That was Bitcoin. Now here's the Peters report. It's my trade log. Right here, it says this week's whiteboard. Every Sunday night, put about 4 or 5 hours into this whiteboard, looking up the tickers. It's got the stage 3s, the breakouts, the growth stocks, the dividends I'm getting this week from the portfolio that we have in the newsletter. Maybe some positions I'm looking at closing, B&B trades. If you know what that is, you know. B&B trades at a bank ongoing. I need to trim trade ideas this week. Stocks under the 200. I just started noticing more and more. Obviously, we're going into correction. I like to keep an eye on that. In names I like, you're going to see on there. New tickers. If you understand margin, anyway, this is my homework, man. That's my homework, okay? That's my homework. Where are we at? That was earlier. And it's based around this concept that price moves in 4 stages. Okay, right here it says the win. This is the 7 assets, man. We got TLT, GLD, DIA. That's the Dow Jones Industrial. 30 stocks. SPY, that's the SP 500. BTC, that's Bitcoin. That's the real stuff, Bitcoin, the blockchain price. Then the QQQ, that's the NASDAQ. And USO, that's oil. Now watch this. Let me show you what's happening. Bitcoin, NASDAQ, and oil are at the very bottom. All right, let's talk about this oil trade. Right here, Pro Shares, Ultra, Bloomberg Crude Oil. Oil stocks are still going down. I showed you Oxy, bringing your attention to the lowest sector, meaning the cheapest sector. Come on, man. Come on. The cheapest sector in the stock market, USO. This is where I'm looking for bargains, where I'm looking for deals. That's the oil sector. All right. So what did we have here? Come on, man. Where are we at? Right here. All right. So here it is set up. Anchor point. Notice the pattern here. Looks like the money flow trading system pattern. Each day a different bar. Over a period of time, those bars form price patterns on price charts. I got me an anchor point. I got price above 5-day exponential moving average. Price has been here before, so I can borrow. I got a target zone. I got an entry, a stop, and a target. And oil looks to be coming back and trying to move up the leaderboard to go from number 7. I bet it falls in number 3 or 4. I haven't done my win ranking yet. And then if you get on my Substack list over there, there's great articles on how to do your homework like this. So you can follow along with me and how to do the win. Let's play this fucking game to win, man. Come on, man. Let's play to win. These are our trades. Look over here. Let me show you something. Go to page 82. Oh, man, the internet's killing me today, huh? Right here, page 17, Dogs of the Dow. Dogs of the Dow, man. Where are we at? Right here. Dogs of the Dow. We track them. I track them every day, all the time. DOD, Amgen, Cisco, Chevron, Dow, IBM, Johnson Johnson, Coca-Cola, MMM, Verizon, WBM. Okay, look at Coca-Cola. I don't even have this in the chart pack. I don't need to put it in chart pack, man. Look at it. We own this. Track it. It's a dog of the Dow. You should already own it. Chapter 10, my free ebook. You don't have to die broke. Rich people own these stocks. You buy on stage 1s. You trim on stage 3s once they're overvalued. You don't even need to be alerted. No one needs to tell you. Walgreens, Verizon, 3M. This is the January of 2024. Right out of my free. Look at 3M now. Where are we at on 3M? All right. What was the prices there? Coca-Cola, what was it? $58? $68. Nice. What else we got? Damn, some of these have flown. Some have gone down. Amgen's flown. Johnson Johnson's flown. Dow's been up and down. All paying fat dividends. You got more money you did last year. This simple strategy is free. It's in my free ebook. It just makes money. And these are just quality assets. The only fucking problem on there is Walgreens, but don't give up on it. Okay? Keep it position size, though. Man, but here's what I was going to show you. Look at this. Nope. Move this over. The buy and hold portfolio generates $107,758 in annual dividend income, all set to drip unless position becomes too large, or I don't. Some I don't, be honest. SEP portfolio just is tax protected under a SEP IRA, 28,000, traditional 7,000, 9,500, blah, 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 bridge camp, blah, 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 top 5 holdings. Exxon, Blackstone, Cornerstone. These two, really should be kind of one, but those are Closed-end funds. And here's all the stocks, baby. All the dividends just dripping. Boom, boom, boom. Shares growing, adding money, watching the charts and trimming on threes and adding on ones, and then doing homework right here, trying to see if we can get ahead of possibly position ourselves. I'm always all in. I've always got Bitcoin. I always got some of the S&P. I've always got stocks in different sectors. But what I can do, hopefully, is weight my positions. And hopefully, if I get ahead, boom, make a little extra scratch, collect those dividends, add at the right times. That's all I'm trying to do, man. Hold, maintain, grow, and build. That's all I'm trying to do. Stay ahead, man. That's it, man. Let's get, what are the other wins here? And then we'll get off here. Hold on. Come on, man. Where'd you go, G? All right. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the win. I lost my thing. I got sidetracked there, man. Jeez. Come on, baby. I apologize. Man, my mouse, I just realized it's the mouse going crazy here. All right. We did Bitcoin. I actually have a trade on right now for Bitcoin. I'm on 4 Bitcoins in the futures using Coinbase. Dow Jones in a stage 4 decline. These are the obvious support levels, right? I can see it easily going down as 38,200, 200-day moving average. We're right above it, easy peasy. There's room. Look, guys, there's room right here. There's room on the RSI. It's not even extreme yet. Dow's coming down. There's the diamond, same thing. That's the ETF for the Dow Jones. Here's gold. We were long gold. Gold's now underneath the 20-day moving average, about to get a crossover. It's still inside of what could possibly here be a trading zone in here. What in the hell? Come on, man. Come on, guys. I apologize. Looking like a turd. Here we go. Could be a trading range. And, man, honestly, we got another one right in here. So this is kind of a big area. This is tricky, man. It's a big area in there. I want to wait for some things to set up at a bare minimum. Momentum to the histogram says down. TSI says down. This thing's going down. Probably going to look to maybe get longer or a stage 1 up in that area. We'll just leave that, man. We'll save this for next time we're in here. That was gold, huh? Bitcoin we looked at. Dow we looked at. I guess we can mark it while we're in here.
It's terrific. But if you're the 45th best middleweight in the country, it's pretty much the same as it used to be in the 30s. So the spread gets wider. If you're Frank Sinatra, you're a lot better off if you got television than if you just play at some theater in New York, like where you started. You know, it's magnified, but throughout. I mean, if you got a good business idea, you can get it capitalized and become worth billions just on the idea. So it's just tougher. Whereas, you know, you go back to 1800, and if you were reasonably strong and willing to work hard, you were worth 90% as much on a farm as the very best guy. You know, it just the differential, and it'll keep winding. The market system will push it in that direction, but its government is there to.
What would you change if you could?
Well, I would change the earned income tax credit big time. Yeah, I just, you know, not by myself at all. I mean, there's 320 million Americans out there, and there's a lot of crosses over at Normandy and everything else, you know. And it just, I benefit enormously by having come along when I came along and where I came along. And some people did, and some people didn't. And there's nothing wrong with a market system that rewards anybody that makes life better for millions of people. They only get enormously rewarded, but you got to take care of the people that just don't fit well into that particular niche. I mean, if this country paid off based on athletic ability, you know, I mean, I could study 8 hours a day and, you know, and have all these going, and, you know, I'm still gonna, you know, like get the ring or something like that. 10 seconds later, I'm on my back, you know. So the talents that get rewarded in the market system are important because they bring us more of the goods and services that the country wants, and they make all kinds of improvements in how we live. Just incredible. But they leave people behind, and it won't be solved simply by education. A 2% growth rate, if we have a little less than 1% population growth, which we probably will, in one generation, 25 years now, people have kids a little later, will add 19,000 per capita, family of 4, 76,000 to real GDP. So there will be family of 4, on average, there would be 76,000 more stuff per family of 4 in one generation. I mean, we are going to have more, and the goose is going to keep laying more golden eggs. I mean, we've got a wonderful system.
Mr. Buffett, Mr. Munger, my name is Nicholas Erdenberger. I hail from the beautiful Garden State of New Jersey. And I guess the question.
Applause.
So I guess this is a follow-up question to the question before. I really connect with the idea of not investing in industries you can't fully understand. Being a young guy who has limited ability to code and who can't build robots, tech is certainly not an industry I fully understand. And yet these days, the concept of entrepreneurship is nearly synonymous with tech amongst people my age. So my question to you, Mr. Buffett, is if you were 23 years old with entrepreneurial tendencies, what non-tech industry would you start a business in and why?
I'd probably do just what I did when I was 23. I would go in the investment business, and I would look at lots of companies, and I would go and talk to lots of people, and I would try to learn from them what I could about different industries. One thing I did when I was 23, if I got interested in the coal business, I would go out and.
All right, goes. So the NASDAQ's come down. The RSI is only 31. There's still more room to the downside. This has been a pretty decent move, more than 10%. Coming right into this 200-day moving average. Stocks, man, I'm going to be honest. Stocks tend to stop right there, bro. I mean, and look, we've had support here before. It's kind of coming into what was a supply zone that it then broke through. So I don't know. We're starting to see a little bit of the turning action on that side. TSI, we need to see it go sideways. And on this MACD, we need to see it, kind of slope up. So I don't know, man. Maybe this does something. So we've gone through gold, Dow Jones, Bitcoin. We got to trade on. We'll see. Dow's still in a stage 4 decline. Can still go lower. Gold, could still go lower. NASDAQ, I mean, all of them could go lower, but I'm just about what I see. Same on look at this, man. We broke that channel on the SPY. If you have the chart pack, you can get on these, man. RSI could still go down. We broke this ascending channel. That was kind of bad news. So, we moved in. Come on. We moved in this stage 4 decline right here. And for me, I might have given it a minute, but once it broke this support zone, definitely we're moving down. The problem is you're going to have a few spots where maybe it can stop. But I don't know. I was kind of expecting everything to kind of come into their 200. TSI's not flat. The MACD's still pointing down. All the pressure is still to the downside, man. It really is. The last one, let's check bonds. Oh, no, we already did oil. Bonds, we've taken profits. Trimmed up in here. Been a good trade. Been adding on stage 1. Is this a position trade for me? I do want to bring your attention to one thing here. Take bonds. I'm trading a TMF. It's a leverage 3 times. Go to the monthly and look what happens. I don't know how this thing holds up, but man, look at these. Look at the potential. What takes bonds there? I don't know, man. But on the bigger time frame, on the bigger picture, we got a breakout here. Plenty of room on the RSI. And what in the fuck? Wow. Right here, mean, this is a monthly chart, but that's a boom. Look at that. That's a lot of room. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Back to the daily. And, we pushed into that RSI. Price does what it does when it hits RSI. It pulls back. Now we need to see it hold in here. Maybe we can add to it and keep pressing this trade. And, that's working for us right now. Well, what else is working? Bond-like stuff, And so bonds are coming. We're seeing oil, possibly anchor point, heading up. Bitcoin, possibly anchor point, heading up. Dow still room to the downside. SPY still room to the downside. Q still down room to the downside. TLT, people taking profits. Let's see where the money rotates, man. See where the money rotates. Let me take this down. Hey, man. Listen in. Check it in with the market. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
See the CEOs of 8 or 10 coal companies. And the interesting thing was I never made appointments usually or anything. I just dropped in, but they fellow from Omaha who looked like me couldn't be too harmful. So they'd always see me. And I'd ask them a lot of questions. But one question I'd always ask them, 2 questions at the end. I would ask them if they had to put all of their money into any coal company except their own and go away for 10 years and couldn't change it, which one would it be and why? And then I would say, after I got an answer to that, I would say, and if as part of that deal, they had to sell short an equivalent amount of money in one coal company, which would it be and why? And if I went around and talked to everybody in the coal business about that, I would know more about the coal companies from an economic standpoint than any one of those managers probably would. So I think there's lots of ways to learn about business. You're not going to learn how to start another Facebook or Google that way, but you can learn a lot about the economic characteristics of companies by reading, personal contact. You have to have a real curiosity about it. I mean, I don't think you can do it because your mother's telling you to do it or something of the sort. I think, it really has to turn you on. And I mean, what could turn you on more around asking questions about coal companies? That maybe be a little odd too, but that's what I would do. And I might, in the process of doing that, find some industry that particularly interested me. In my case, the insurance industry did. And you might become very well equipped, even perhaps to start your own insurance company, but perhaps to pick the most logical one to go to work for. If you just keep learning things, something will come along that you'll find extremely useful to do. I mean, but you've got to be open to it. Charlie?
Well, you might try a version of the trick that Larry Bird used. When he wanted an agent to negotiate his new contract, he asked every agent why he should be selected. And if he was not going to be selected, whom the agent would recommend. Since everybody recommended the same number 2 choice, Larry Bird just hired him and negotiated the best contract in history. There are a lot of tricks that people use.
We did the same thing as Solomon, actually. It was a Saturday morning when I called, and you were there, Charlie, weren't you?
Yeah,
sure. I called in, I don't know whether it was 8 or 10 of the managers. I just gotten in there on Friday afternoon, and now it's Saturday morning, and we had to open for business Sunday night in Tokyo, and I had to have somebody to run the place. So I called in 8 people, and I said, who besides you would be the